appreciate the patience.
Yep. Awesome.
Yeah, wonderful. Finally got there.
So let's jump in, I think.
Yep.
Thanks everyone for joining. This is the first of what I expect to be many AMAs in advance of the ReelToken offering, as well as following so to share the progress updates and just ensure that the community is up to date and aware of the roadmap, the progress that's happening, and can ask questions to the team in an open forum like this, so that we can ensure that there's ongoing communication. So we're going to start with some questions going into the past, present, and future of the ReelStar application, the ReelToken, and all of the products and services coming to market in the Reel Group ecosystem. We're going to talk about the present, where we're at now, and some of the things that are being worked on by the team, as well as the future, what the vision is, what the plans are for the roadmap, and what we can be excited about throughout the rest of the year and in future years. We then have had some questions from the community that we'll go into, that were shared over the past few days, and finally we'll leave an open forum for community members here to come in and ask questions. So yeah, thanks everyone for taking the time, and thanks Andrew and Jazzy for participating. Why don't you guys both just share a bit of backgrounds on yourselves and your experience prior to starting prior to the founding of the ReelStar project?
Do you want to go first, Jazzy?
Yeah, sure. No, you going first. All good.
Okay, thanks. My name's Andre. I've been working with one of the co-founders from pretty much the very beginning, in terms of when the project was first conceptualized, and in the sort of probably 18 months to 2 years before the companies were registered, we were going through multiple iterations of what has come to be the Reel Group platform and the everything app, ReelStar. So it's been a very long haul, and a lot of shall we say hours have been spent and sweat's been poured to make it a one of a kind, best of in the market type app. So again, I want to thank everyone here for attending, and also for the opportunity to share what we've done over the last 4 odd years. Jazzy?
Yep. Hello, everyone. My name's Jaspreet. Short for not short for. A lot of people call me Jazzy. Look, my background has been in the managed IT services industry. I've built companies around cloud setups, IT stacks in past. There was a time in my career where I was really looking at Web3 very closely when I came across ReelStar. That was going back sort of mid last year. I've always had a great relationship with the co-founders, Nick and Navi, and when they started to talk about the idea, it resonated quite well. I was looking around in the industry where I saw a lot of the projects were, to be honest, fluff, and it didn't, and a lot of people couldn't relate to those projects. And unlike all of those projects, I found ReelStar to be a real project with a long-term vision. And I decided to finally join ReelStar. It was back in July last year as the Chief Revenue Officer. So my role in the company is predominantly looking at raising capital, integrating our platform into different sort of partners to then generate revenue, etc., which we'll talk about more in detail throughout this conversation. But yeah, thank you all for having me here, and I look forward to this conversation.
Jazzy, you want to dive a bit deeper into where the project was at a year ago, or actually maybe Andrew would be if you were involved before. If you don't mind sharing a bit more context into how the idea was first materialized and how it's building off of the prior track record of the founders, and so how the idea was first materialized, and how you got started, and the technical work that's been going into getting the project live now.
Yeah, no worries. So effectively, I've known Navi or Navdeep for probably over 14, 15 years. And we both have a background in IT in various areas. And Navdeep and Nick, the founders, have had a even longer background in the media and entertainment industry. And having worked in Australia in the same industry, they actually came across each other, and in conversation they realised that there were some issues around the media and entertainment industry that they weren't particularly happy about, and it came to that they both needed to do something about what they saw was an improper treatment of artists, and that involved things like restrictive contracts, conservative management that wasn't able to respond, rapidly to developing trends in the media and entertainment industry. And these artists were penalised not for their lack of talent, but simply because of these restrictions. They didn't have a lot of opportunity to showcase their talent, to grow and extend their range, their repertoire. And out of these suggestions, ReelStar was sort of created to give artists opportunities and the chance to, develop their own brand, rely on their talents and abilities. And this basically couldn't work in the current and previous media and entertainment industry space, where there are a lot of very large players. The business model is based around, very large artists with very large pools of fans and very strong and related connections to either studios or other groups. So this meant that a lot of really talented artists weren't able to get a look in. So it began by looking at a video sharing, video streaming app. And over time, we were looking at various ways that we could create employment, revenue, and monetization in a business model that didn't require large corporations, 1 billion followers, etc., to be profitable, and to also provide an artist with, shall we say, an appropriate return for their efforts. So it eventually came to be that we realised that this could only be achieved within the Web3 paradigm and space, and the opportunities were slowly coming up. And we looked at and we saw that the crypto and NFT market spaces were ideal, shall we say, launch ramps to where we're going to end up, which is the metaverse. And we believe that that's going to be the shall we say, the best opportunity for everyone with any creative ability or talent, and also that access in the metaverse will provide huge benefits to their fans and followers and those sorts of things. So ReelStar is literally just the first step in a vision to maximize Web3 to provide benefit not only to the artists and their followers, but because of their philosophy to make the world a better place.
Yeah, and just and Michael, just at that time as well, we realised Reels was sort of trending quite well, and there were a lot of content creators creating some real good content, which would basically result in this massive following. A lot of people would follow their talents. But at the end of the day, it was only these social media companies that were benefiting out of all the traffic these creators were able to build through their art. And yeah, so therefore, ReelStar was created to give these artists, those opportunities and the chance to further their own brand, based primarily on their own talent and abilities. Something that we realized could only be achieved within the paradigm of Web3, and really to democratize the opportunities present in the crypto and the NFT market space.
Jazzy, can you? So I know that the thesis of Reel is to, as you mentioned, to give a lot of the value from Reels and from engagement back to creators, as opposed to the traditional incumbents that are capturing oftentimes 100% of the value for themselves, which is
Yep.
now made possible through blockchains, as you mentioned. But can you share a bit more context into exactly how Reel is giving value back to users, and how that's been made possible from blockchain to digital assets?
Yeah, absolutely. So, so first of all, let's look at the challenge. The issue in the current world is, if I'm an artist and I create a piece of art or a reel, in this context, who owns that? Who owns that content? Is it the artist, or is it the social media company? And you'll often find the answer is, the social media company. The social once you upload the video, it's basically stored somewhere in the cloud. It's on Instagram or Facebook, or any other social media server. And unlike unlike these traditional social media companies, our platform is decentralized, built on blockchain, and it really allows these content creators to own their content. They're able to then create NFTs out of these content, which their fans can basically purchase to show their to basically to they can buy these NFTs, or trade these NFTs, and really support the artist as well, and help the artist monetize for the work that is done, rather than the platform itself.
Yeah, I can just hop in there, to add, and part of this is all possible because of the trustless smart contracts, which allow any creator and any follower or fan, or anyone, in fact, to be able to confidently deal with whoever on the platform, because they know that there will be no cheating, there'll be no, shall we say, gouging by a large corporation. So in our smart contracts, where the artist is able to literally control every single aspect of the transaction, and given the blockchain technology, every aspect of that transaction is transparent, and so you can people can see, yes, if something was bought, this much money went to the creator, and that's something that's not transparent and not available in any other social media platform.
Indeed. Andrew, can you talk about some of these, some of the technical challenges that were had as the application was being built, and how they were circumvented?
Yeah, essentially, one of the things in particular, if you look towards the long-term vision and you look at what's happening in the industry at the moment, is that a lot of people are trying to silo social media users into their platform and their environment. And they do that by the most recent example, for example, was our host Twitter, where they literally shut off APIs for all the other developers and so on who were creating, shall we say, apps that allowed people to better use Twitter in a way that suited themselves. And then we had a change of management, and all of a sudden that was cut off, and all of these apps and the people that were employed and the people that used them were left in the lurch. So one of the first things that we had from a technical standpoint was to try and make sure that everything that we did was as interoperable as possible, was extensible, and that the API platform that we've created will be able to be used by any app developers or anyone else who wishes to contribute to what ReelStar is trying to achieve. So in terms of some of the technical issues that have been, the technology is rapidly evolving, and so things like blockchain storage, using blockchain for communication, no matter the media, and all of those sorts of things. It took a lot of effort to make sure that they were as efficient and as cost effective as possible. And one of the things, again, and probably like to use an analogy here, is that what we want to do is make sure that we use the same bricks as everyone else, or as many of the, shall we say, global developers do. But at the end of the day, it's up to the talent of the team and the people to make sure that the bricks create something. So you can build a house, or you can build a Taj Mahal. And we're more on the Taj Mahal side of the building, using those blocks than anything else. So I think the idea was to put together those building blocks in a way that was both effective, cost effective, and provided something really special for the users to be able to enjoy and use in a way that was not clunky or difficult. So having a seamless interface, ensuring that every aspect in terms of the functionality worked as speedily as possible. And probably from the first standpoint is that the app was designed mobile first. And this was based on part of the democratization idea, where we know that 85% of the world's population now has access or uses a smartphone. So the ideal is that we know that at least 85% of the world's population now can access the features and functionalities within the ReelStar app and be able to make their own contribution to the global industry.
Indeed. Exciting times for sure. And so the beta version is actually live for Android and Apple now, and has quite a few users that have have reached out to use it. Andrew, do you mind just sharing a bit more context into the existing the features that are usable today in the beta, and then maybe Jazzy sharing a bit more context into the roadmap of features to be added?
Yeah, so effectively at the moment, the video sharing, chat functions are available. I'm expecting that there will be probably tomorrow or the next day another iteration of the app. People are able to have a look at the wallet. People are able to make transactions. Obviously, they're not real. But to see how the process works, to get comfortable with the user interface. And throughout this process, we're observing what's happening. We're seeing where bottlenecks are in the way that people are interfacing with the app. And this is going on in an iterative fashion in each of the betas. So we're expecting to have literally a new beta probably about every fortnight or week up until the actual finalized version at the launch.
That's correct. So as you can appreciate, it's just a beta version at the moment. We're obviously working very closely with our community to gather as much feedback as possible. We're obviously undertaking a lot of pressure testing at the moment on the app to ensure if, when we do ramp up things in terms of users using the app, we're able to cater for that sort of traffic. Some of the few, and at this point in time, we've only unlocked, I believe, about 20% of the features what the app would have and would basically evolve into over time. People will be able to mint their own NFTs in future just by clicking a few buttons. They would they'd be able to convert basically any media content to an NFT. As I said, just a couple of buttons. They'll have a wallet attached to the app itself. They'll be able to trade crypto and NFTs within the same app. And one of the features that I believe is already live is the P2P chat, video, audio, and text feature. We are currently also working on an artificial intelligence chat as well. Keeping in mind what Chat GPT's done over the past 6 months and the interest it's built around the globe. So it is definitely something on the roadmap. We're looking at creating an artificial intelligent sort of your own sort of Siri type of person you can ask questions to on the app itself. Of course, then one of the biggest components of the app would be the very secure and private RealPay digital wallet, where you'll be able to not just store our native token, which is RealT, but as well as any other cryptos that you hold. One of my favorites that we're putting on the app is the ability for the users to earn RealToken while just being on the app and having fun and liking videos, commenting. So we are trying to put an element of gaming into the app, gamify the whole experience and then further motivate people to then use more features on the app itself. So there's plenty of things to come. As you can appreciate, it does require a lot of technical expertise to put it all together, a lot of testing in the background. So we expect to roll these features one at a time, and there's a lot in store in future.
In addition to the technical roadmap and the new features that are being added, Jazzy, there's quite a lot that is being done now behind the scenes in advance of the platform launch and the token offering. You want to share more context to the community about the additional activities that are happening now behind the scenes?
Yeah, absolutely. So look, all focus at the moment is on some of these to achieve one of some of these milestones that we set for ourselves over the course of next 6 to 8 weeks. We sort of committed to launch our token on a centralized exchange, going live on 9th of March. That was announced a few weeks ago now. We're looking to launch a full version of our ReelStar app going live on the 23rd of March. That would possibly have a lot of the features we've just spoken about, and then unlocking our ReelPay, which is our payment solution app, fully integrated into ReelStar. We're looking at launching that on the 6th of April. So what it looks like in the background in our office at the moment is a lot of focus on a lot of things. Obviously, we're a growing team. So we've got the technical experts looking at getting all the feedback as much as possible on our beta app at the moment. Trying to improve the app as much as we can in regards to launching the token. We're negotiating with centralized exchanges. We're speaking with different types of market makers in the back end. Setting up a lot of strategy, a long-term strategy for the next few quarters. So it's just a lot of things happening at the moment.
Awesome. And back to fundamentals, just for some of the audience that doesn't necessarily know what ReelStar is. Jazzy, how would you describe ReelStar to someone that's new to the platform?
Yeah, absolutely. So look, I've got a very unique way to describe ReelStar and make it nice and easy for everyone. So look, take take all the parts that you love from all your current favorite social media apps. Throw away everything you didn't like in those apps. Um, Add a sprinkle of special sauce, add a fiat and digital wallet with more features that you can ever possibly want, and mix it seamlessly, easy to use app, and garnish it with thousands of communities of all kinds, for all interests that are filled with positive, verified, real people through our KYC platform, not just bots and bad actors. So we're here to revolutionize how social media works. We're here to create an everything app. The good part is we because we're building from scratch, we can take into consideration a lot of learnings these social media apps have had to take over past so many years. Unfortunately, for them to build the sort of platform that we're building, they'll have to undo work they've put in over the last 2-3 decades. Luckily we don't we don't have those challenges. So it'd be a very in simple words, easy to use app. People will be able to get on the app, create their favorite content, then be able to create NFTs out of that content, be able to trade them on a marketplace that's fully integrated through a wallet that be fully integrated into the app, and have a payment solution as well. So you can go crypto to fiat, fiat to crypto, and just make it as seamless as possible. So and in future, have the ability to dive into metaverse, where you'll be able to meet your artists, your favorite artist, in metaverse, be able to purchase tickets through the native token, which is our realty token, on the app, and just really experience that Web3 in its true form.
Can you share a bit more context into RealPay and the functionality of RealPay? You mentioned
Absolutely.
payments. You kind of touched on it, but
Absolutely right. So RealPay itself is a payment solution that we put together for people to be able to go crypto to fiat and fiat to crypto. It'd be a complete online payment system with the ability to have international fund remittance, so people be able to send money from one part of the world to the other. Peer-to-peer transfer, so there's no banks involved. So essentially, you're not paying the hefty fees you would pay through traditional banking. It would obviously have the digital wallet. They'll be integrated, so you'll be able to store your not just your real token, which is our native token, but as well as any other cryptos that you currently hold, as well as fiat currency. It'll have a full merchant facilities. We're looking to integrate into in future into top tier travel companies, hotels, and other vendors for an easy payment checkout option with the merchants in the real world. And you also have like an international digital and physical tap to pay capability. So that's something we're working on, a little bit more futuristic, but it's on the roadmap where people will be able to simply tap. So we'll be able to issue either digital digital cards or physical cards that will be directly connected to their wallet, and through the payment solution that we are creating, people will be able to tap and pay for most of the stuff in real life. So they'll be able to go to a grocery shop and basically be able to pay using that payment solution and through the current crypto that they hold in their wallets.
Awesome. And Andrew, we've spoken a lot about minting NFTs and transfers of tokens. Can you share a bit of context into which blockchain you're looking to do that, or whether there's a multi-chain approach, and how you're thinking about integrating blockchains?
My pleasure. So effectively, we'll launch with a dual blockchain platform, Polygon Matic and BSC. The way the blockchain platform was designed was to allow it to be extensible. And that means not only for existing blockchains, but for future blockchains. The purpose of having multiple blockchains came down to a couple of key factors. The first is redundancy, and the second is the ability to arbitrage. For example, when there's too much load on one blockchain network, that generally drives gas fees up. So the idea was to ensure that we always had a platform solution for not only NFT minting and transfer, but associated with effectively any sort of digital asset transformation, transfer, exchange, whatever, that in the background people don't have to be specialists. The app itself will determine the most cost-effective way for the user at that specific moment to be able to make the transaction. So there's obviously a fair bit of technical expertise in making that happen. And making it extensible fairly rapidly across any blockchains, and that obviously involves bridging architectures and so on. So that is what I think is an important part of having a multi-blockchain approach. And obviously, what we're trying to do is in everything we're trying to do is we're trying to make sure that as much of the revenue, as much of the shall we say value of the digital assets people have remains with them, rather than being distributed across multiple middlemen or persons and platforms. So what we're trying to do is make sure that ReelStar is going to be the real value app for all kinds of digital transactions.
Awesome. Thanks, Andrew. So one of the community members asked whether they've noticed that there's a significant target for the Asian market or community. Jazzy, do you mind sharing a bit more context into why India and Asia has been focused on from the beginning, and whether there are other markets that you're looking to open the app up to?
Absolutely. So, look, we've definitely got a global focus and a global vision. The reason we've strategically chosen India and Asia as our primary market is when we did all our analysis. Just to give you some context, there's about there's about 6 million reels that are produced in India in a day at the moment. So that was a market we really wanted to penetrate into because of its enormous size, because of a Web2 social media called TikTok getting banned in India because being a Chinese product and the government is not getting along. We saw a massive opportunity for ourselves to penetrate through that market, at the right time, with the right product that we think we have, and then really grow across the globe from there on. So if you feel like so far that we've been too focused just on the Indian Asia market, that's all purely strategic. That's to make sure we can build as much traffic as possible through this enormous market. But yeah, to answer your question, the vision is definitely global, and we are making a global product.
Awesome. And Jazzy, can you also one of the community members asked that it seems like we're going into a recession shortly, and whether now is the right time to launch the ReelToken, or whether we should wait. Can you share some perspective on that?
Yeah, sure. Look, a lot of times when I get asked questions about current market conditions and all that, there are 2 points that I always like to make. One of the points is we've got we've got a very strong team backing a very strong project in terms of its utility and the need in the current environment. A lot of times, when you're backing a product like that, a team like that, it's not, market is relevant, but not the only thing that you got to consider. We consider this to be the right time for this product to be put in front of people, to help them in their journey from the whole Web2 to Web3 space. And as far as the market is concerned, I believe we've basically bottomed the crypto market, or almost close to. And I believe after this, the rising tide will lift all boats. And from here on, it's better to launch at the bottom and go up from here, rather than going from top to bottom. So I think we're very comfortable with ourselves, very comfortable with with the timing of the project. We've had some great feedback. And to precisely answer your question, as I said, we are at the rock bottom of the. I believe we are at the rock bottom of the market. So it's only going to go up from here, hopefully.
Indeed, I would agree with that. I think we're, if not at the bottom, we're pretty close to that. We're just wrapping up on the hour, so in advance of leaving some time for more questions from the audience here, we've got a bus from our team that's going to be sharing some updates on some engagement and community initiatives that we're going to be rolling out.
Hello, everyone. Happy to be here. Thank you to everybody that joined this week's AMA. I'll go ahead and announce some new campaigns that will be running in the community chats moving forward. That being said, I want to announce that we'll be doing an invite contest from now on across Discord and Telegram, and the prizes will be $100 in ReelToken for first place, $35 in token for second place, $15 in token for third place, and these will be running consistently every single week across Discord and Telegram. We'll also be doing the same with engagement contests across both Discord and Telegram. Prizes will be the same as the invite contest. We'll also be doing 3 winners for members with the best entries for community submission contests. Prizes will be the same as the invite contest and engagement contest as well. The submission for this week will be announced very soon. 1 random winner from the weekly Gleam giveaway will be announced as well, with a reward of $50 in ReelToken. There will also be a winner moving forward for future AMAs for the best question asked during the AMA. They'll also be winning a prize of $50 in ReelToken. That being said, the winners of these campaigns will be announced at the end of every single internal AMA moving forward. We'll also be alternating AMAs between Telegram, Discord, and Twitter. The next one will be on Telegram, so please make sure you're following Reel across all of the socials. Thank you.
Thanks, Abbas. Yeah, we've got 10 minutes left. So anyone in the community that has any questions or comments, I encourage you guys to raise your hand and to ask them.
Hello, John. John T, can we have your question, please?
Yes, can you hear me?
Yes, we can. Thank you.
Yeah, hi everyone. Hi, I'm from India. My question is to the co-founder and founder of the ReelStar app. So first off, I'm very happy to be associated. I'm in the second round of ITO I have invested. Second thing that the app is quite interesting and the future seems to be very, very bright. And all the developers and the team in the ReelStar, I would really appreciate your efforts. The we cannot talk about the prices. That depends on the market, but I would really appreciate. And I'm very happy that I am associated with this. So my question is that recently I was checking on Coin Market Cap about the listing of Realty. So I have found a page where they have listed Realty against the wrapped ETH. So the price comes there at around 0.018. So I was just wondering about this.
I think that's one for you, Jazzy.
Yeah, look, I'm not across this at all. But I can look this up and possibly get back to you. Would you be on our Telegram channel?
Yes, I am.
Okay, wonderful. If you don't mind, if you could just leave your contact details, I'll be able to review this for you and get back to you
Yeah.
over the Telegram account.
Yes. So the reason of coming up with this was just to bring your knowledge to this thing.
Yep.
That on
Yep.
CoinMarketCap, the prices are shown $0.018. So for me, I am a very long-term investor. So
Yep.
there is no issue for me. But there may be people who could come and see this and they can be very scared about this. Okay. So I'll just drop my details.
Yes, please. Yeah.
Okay.
No problem. So thank you so much for the feedback. As I said, I will review that with the team and get back to you soon.
Yeah, thanks a lot.
Cool. Thank you.
Any other questions for anyone?
Is John T there? Because I've just had a quick chance to glance at what he was referring to. John T, just to answer, put a comment to. I'll still go back and have a chat with the team and work through this, but I'm looking at the page you're referring to, and it clearly says that this page has been created automatically using on-chain data and contains unverified information. So, I mean, that's the first red flag right there. However, I appreciate your concern, and I'll still go back to the drawing board and get a confirmed answer for you.
Correct. And the matter is the same. That I just want the ReelStar and the entire team, which is going through a particular protocol they are following. So with this page, there may be some some kind of people would not come to the and they would not buy the token.
Yeah.
So my only matter was this, that you should take a note of this and
Yep.
make sure this is verified properly.
Yeah. Wonderful. I really appreciate your concern, John T. Thank you so much for bringing that to my attention. Thank you.
Thank you.
Any other questions?
If there are no other questions, I might just like to add something to what Jaspreet was saying, was that irrespective of the environment or market, I think one of the things that everyone is interested in is being able to create a opportunity for themselves to monetize their creativity in whatever media or shape or form. So I think the trend moving forward, particularly or especially within a sort of recession type market, is that people who are willing to invest the time and the effort into their creative pursuits, I think we'll find that there will be a global audience that will welcome their output on the ReelStar platform, and it will not take a large number of followers for anyone to be able to have a successful monetization strategy, simply because there's no middle person taking a big chunk out of it. So I think that's something to bear in mind, particularly in a recession when people are perhaps querying or wondering about where their next lot of income is coming from. The ReelStar app is definitely an opportunity for people out there to have a go very cost effectively, and see exactly what sort of appetite the global market has for their creativity.
Thanks, Andrew. And if there's no more questions, I think let's wrap this up for today. Thanks everyone for joining. We'll certainly be doing more of these, so there'll be more chances to ask questions and hear about updates from the ReelStar.
Many thanks for your time.
Thank you, guys.